Well, welcome to another episode, Let the Truth Be Told. My name is Sean Williams, and I thank the Lord for you that always tune into us every Sunday evening. I appreciate you guys. It's been a long time coming. We haven't taped the program in quite a while. Man, it's just been a long time. Me and Brother Hub ain't been together in a long time. But I thank the Lord for everybody out there that said, man, Sean, man, when you and Brother Hub gonna get back together? We ain't never left each other. We just ain't been on TV together. But we back together once again, and I thank the Lord for my brother Hub being in the studio with me down in my office, man. And I thank the Lord, man, for you being here with me in 2022.
Amen.
Yeah,
a lot of people didn't make it.
Hey, man, you know, and so we got a lot going on, lot going on, a lot of stuff that we're going to cover today. And we're going to cover a lot of things going on with you personally and some of the things you got going on with your organization and a lot of community stuff and just check the pulse of the city.
Yeah.
Check the pulse of the city, see what the city talking about. I mean, me and you both been in the trenches along with the other folks in the community. We ain't throwing nobody on the bus, but I know what we've been doing.
Amen.
And I can only talk about what we've been doing.
And we only accountable for what we've been doing in God's eyes. He ain't gonna ask us what Pookie and Ray Ray did.
No, we're not accountable for that. So, Brother Hub, introduce yourself.
Herbert Burnett, Coach Hub, Sergeant Hub, Reverend Hub. Just glad to get back in the studio with Sean. A lot going on, a lot of my community work, and man, I got an amazing wife. Shout out to my wife, Stephanie Burnett. But you never forget your roots, and you know, doing 20 years in the Army and coming back here. Well, I had a stint where I ran the recruiting station, but when I moved back here for good, my community work started at the Whip Barbershop. I was able to get in places that I would have never been in without Sean, because the Whip Barbershop was jumping. A lot of people were coming down there to the community. I started my store down there. I didn't go just get a building. I had to develop some relationships and get some customers. So never will I forget where I came from, and starting BLT down there. And when Key Wine got killed, we started not on my watch, and I was able to get in meetings and see the lack of leadership by hanging with Sean, because he was already boots on the ground. I was the new guy. The older people know me, but the younger people didn't know me. So I'm locked in now. It's been since 2008, so we talking about 14 years. You know, we've been putting in work. You know, the CU Schools Foundation, wearing my orange. Coach Parker, don't get mad, man. Come on now. I ain't mad because you graduated from Rand 2. I'm with you. I got practice with you tonight at 3, but I had to put this Tiger Pride gear on. You know, they don't recognize me. But somebody was like, well, how do you feel, you know, getting the Distinguished Award? Erica Harrell, Miss America, Robert Babalu Mock, college president got the award, and this Asian doctor got the award, and Hub got the award. I've been distinguished all my life. Y'all just finding out. My mama told me I was distinguished out the womb. And so just be consistent, man, and let God do what he want. Don't need no buddy awards. You know, people give out buddy awards. I don't need none of that. But this award is very, very important to me, and I'm so proud to be receiving the award because I earned it. And somebody saw enough about what I was doing that didn't let nobody or nothing cloud their vision. And they serve the same God I do, and I know they do, because it's like David, you know, when they was looking for a king, he showed all the sons, right? And he said, no, none of these are king. You sure you ain't got no other son? Oh, yeah, we got David. You know, he boots on the ground. He ain't even in the house. We got him tending to the sheep.
He out here.
Come on, man. I'm gonna stop.
Hey, you know my brother Hub. I love my brother Hub. You know,
my God.
I love my brother Hub. You know, he took us real fast. We was gonna slowly get to that point. But you know,
we can double back.
You covered a lot of ground fast.
Yeah,
you know,
man. We ain't got time flies when you having fun. We ain't did the show in 6 months, man. Come on, man. We gotta
keep on moving.
Yeah. Our town is hurting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our town is hurting, man. So this ain't the hub and shine, but our town is hurting. And what are we doing, or what are we gonna do to fix it?
Well, you know, Brother Hub, that leads me right into my segment. We always used to do a background drop. You know, I talked to you earlier about it, Hosea. I think it's Hosea. I don't know exactly the verse.
My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6.
Okay, I don't know what the
Yeah, that's it. You know it though. It's in your heart.
But I keep my team together.
Yeah.
Somebody on team that can put their finger on it and lead me in the right way.
Yeah.
So my people perish for the lack of knowledge, right? And so I think a lot of that has to play.
Yeah.
But who's providing this knowledge?
Yeah.
You know, who you'll go to.
Ooh.
Who you'll go to.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us just been misled, you know, about the information that we have. You know, what information are you consuming?
Yes.
Or will you consume it?
Yes, sir.
Because that's going to dictate your everyday life.
Yes,
That's
sir.
going to govern your fears. You know, that's going to govern your phobias. That's going to govern your kids. You know, and so I always say that the kids don't get shaky until the parents get shaky. You know, and so one of the things that we've been dealing with over this past year, and I pulled up some stuff, and I've covered a little ground, is we've been dealing with gun violence. Okay, and you was recently interviewed on 1400, Brian Barhart's show.
I like Brian.
Brian Barhart's show. Penny for Your Thoughts.
Yeah, I almost turned it down. Thank God for my wife, wisdom.
Popular program. For the larger base of the community, you know, in community where we call it holistic perspective,
or approach,
a holistic perspective, where we see what everybody think about gun violence and what they think. So they pulled you in because they found out that it was a priceless jewel in the community called Herbert Burnett that they needed to talk to because they want to find out your perspective. They've heard from everybody else. They want to hear from Hub. So they brought you in and they wanted to hear what you thought. And you gave them, you know, a little bit, a lot, and very much more than what they thought because you gave the whole perspective. You talked about gun violence. Right now within Champaign County, closing out 2021, we had 26 murders in Champaign due to gun violence. I think Urbana had maybe 4, something similar to that. Maybe 4, don't hold me to it. I think it was like 4. But it was more than what we've ever seen in our city. I think we made some list of being number 2 for the population of people in the country for gun violence. So we're seeing this uptick in gun violence like everybody else is seeing this uptick in gun violence. You know, we're seeing where a lot of this gun violence ain't even getting solved because of the citizens, you know, not being able to come through. We went through a whole little thing about whether we should have cameras or we shouldn't have cameras, you know, license plate readers. You know, I've been to city council meetings about it, you know, didn't know a lot about it. All I know is that I just seen the hurt in the people, you know, and I'm just getting out of moving groove like we always did. Let me move with the people if my people hurting, you know. But I think we didn't. What I just said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Is this new device gonna be good or is it not? If we don't do our research, we don't know. You know, and sometimes we need to peel the onion back a lot more layers. So you've done a lot of that type of work, and I know we want to get into some solutions. But tell us, because somebody asked me on the program, said, you know, what are you doing in the community?
Right.
And she said, I want to hear it today. What are you doing? And a lot of times people see you for the top surface, but they don't know the background story. They don't know what you're doing behind the scenes. They don't know what we're doing when we off camera. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
Well, I first of all, it's going to take some strategic planning to change the trajectory of what's going on, because you got people hurting, right? And everybody got PTSD, you know. The police officer who show up on the scene, 2 people shot, 1 person shot, they take that home with them. I was just reading right when you were preparing, a state trooper and a beloved teacher murder-suicide in Chicago. One killed the other, then killed themselves, man. Folks hurting. And it ain't no certain group that's hurting, and so we got to be strategic. And one of the things I talked about on Penny for Your Thoughts is, man, it's too much buddy system. You know, we got people in positions that have no business being in position, but that's my buddy, right? And I preached a message one time get out of your position and get into your purpose. Because the devil don't care nothing about you having no title, as long as you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing with the title. And so one of the things that I do want to talk about is the detention center. You know, a lot of these shooters are in the detention center. So me and you went over there for a few months straight. And the reason I didn't want to go anymore is because I didn't want to set the kids up for failure. Once I found out that they bought in and doing vision boards and everything, and I know some of them are hurting, but instead of going over there and talking at them, me, my wife, and one of her friends, we've written the whole curriculum to catch them when they're in there and follow them for a year after they get out. Kind of like they unwritten probation manager. Help them, teach them how to tie a tie, help them get jobs. And so Judge Ben Dyer, I scheduled an appointment with him. We've been playing tag, but I'm gonna get with him, young man who I met, and we just clicked immediately. And hopefully, if he likes it, or he gonna tell me what to switch or whatever, I'm gonna go to Julia Reese. And that's initially who we went to get in there before. And so, go ahead. I know you got something to say.
No, I want to go back to the question, right? Go back to the question, because a lot of people say, okay, well, you know, you're getting this award. I've had people say this to me. I've gotten almost every award you can almost get in the city, right? And I've had people, you know, haters or whatever, and some of them cats can't take it no more. So they'll come up to you and tell you that they're a hater, you know?
Right.
And so, but for all of those folks, what have you done to get to the point where you're getting this distinguished, honored award? What have you?
Now, I'm gonna give you my honest answer.
What have you?
I'm gonna give you my honest answer, and then I'm gonna give you the answer you're looking for. My honest answer, Hub's answer is, if you don't know what I've done, you've been under a rock. That's my honest answer. Yeah. If you don't know the way I've been moving for the last 12 years, backbone of the black home, 1,000 men praying, coaching your kids into destiny, LDA, financial literacy, coaching at Central, coaching at Urbana, student teaching, substitute teaching, teacher certification from Eastern. I mean, if they don't know, they've been on a rock. You know, it's insulting to me for somebody to ask me what I've done to get this award. That's insulting to me. Suits by soldier, I'll never close it if the Lord say the same, because that's where I get to see some of the Thundercats. Because I'm not out of the streets at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm at home with my family, right? But because I had a clothing store, they'll slide in there on me and get some prayer, or might shop with me. A lot of them come in there, they don't even shop. They just need a word from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And I understand the assignment. And so, if you know, for anybody to question the award, they're a straight hater or they live on the rock.
Right.
And I'm so changed. I'm so disappointed with our community that I changed. I don't let that affect me, because life is too short, man. And haters gonna hate, man. People, here's what God told me. Folks wake up in the morning and don't even like themselves, and you shook because they don't like you. You know, so my wife has helped me grow in that area where, you know, I don't even pay them no mind.
And one of the other reasons why I said that, Brother Hub, is because you know, folks want to know how can they play a role. You know, folks want to know what are you doing. You know, so that they can find.
Well, our latest project is we just got it's a 37,000 square feet, got an auditorium, everything. And we kind of got the upstairs. They just gave me a little bit of the upstairs, but I understand the assignment. They want to make sure that this ain't no fat meat dream, you know, just starting something to get some money. They want to see it through. But I not only do I foresee having the whole second floor, but I foresee building our building from the ground up, the Bob Fulling Hope Center, located in Rantoul. I mean, Rantoul different. I've been trying to get internet since October. Hopefully this week I'll have internet. We've been doing our financial literacy class. Next week we're gonna do some COVID testing in there. We got midnight basketball. We're gonna do it like I did it in Texas, which is totally different. going to include some other cities. We got a lot going on. Got a summer enrichment program that we're going to do starting in May, where we teach financial literacy, leadership, business, coding, and Spanish. You know, this will be our 4th year running a summer program. But our big thing that we're going to start in August is we're going to do an after-school program. I really didn't want to do one because there's 3 of them there already, but my wife said, we're going to do it different, and we're going to do it with the spirit of excellence, and we're really targeting homeschool kids. We ran into a lot of homeschool kids and ran into a lot of parents homeschooling their kids. You know, we got an excellent program. My wife was up for a job at Douglas Center, and she wrote a curriculum on Parent University. And so we got an excellent parenting program that we're gonna do. And one of the things my wife had to help me understand is, you know, McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King across the street, they all selling hamburgers. And they all in business. And we just gonna do it. The Bible calls it a more excellent way.
And sometimes behind the scenes, they might even work together. It might be one owner that own all 3.
Yeah.
We just getting tricked. We
bamboozled.
We getting bamboozled because we don't understand how the business works. You know, we just consumers. We just frivolously blinded going to shop, you know.
I do want to say this. The individual that recommended for the award, I haven't seen him. I haven't laid eyes on him in probably 30 or 40 years. But, you know, I knew him from school, but I haven't, you know, so that meant a lot to me. We don't talk on the phone. I haven't seen him in 30 or 40 years. But this is what he says, and I honor this, man. And the reason I honor it, because it's no relationship. It's just he had pure motives. He been watching. However he been watching, You know, and it reminded me of that riot at the mall. I would if I had to do that all over again, I wouldn't do it the same way. I wouldn't call the leaders out. I would just go do what I'm supposed to do, right? I would get on the phone and call some leaders.
I'm talking about me dropping you off.
Yeah. No, we couldn't stay. It was pulling on us. We had to go. But this is what he said. And I don't want to just talk about me, but I do want to, because this literally made me cry. Herbert is someone focused on doing something about the challenges facing our community youth. He refuses to sit back and wait for others to get involved. He always jumps in with both feet and stays engaged until something positive occurs. And that's just the gospel truth. I mean, I respect him so much.
And I do. I mean, and definitely, you know, I always say this here right here. You know, a lot of times when I'm looking at what gun violence or something that happened dramatic in the community, and I see folks on Facebook or social media always saying, "What's wrong with the town? What's wrong with the town?" What's wrong with the town is that you took all your brightness and your brilliance to some other location, and you left us dealing with your cousins and your you know, the people on your block, your nephews, your nieces, and you left and left them behind. Now we got to deal with them. Thank God that you had enough compassion for the community, enough love and respect for your mama.
My mama
that you
here.
could put your mama. You know, it's no, like I told some of my family. You know, I'm here with my mama. You know what I'm saying? Don't come here when things all over with trying to dictate no pace. You've been been down there in the land of milk and honey, and then don't come back with no milk or honey.
My brothers and my brothers and sisters don't play. I'm here. She called me every day when she needs some bread. So I get it. But we understand the assignment.
And so you know that's what a lot of the problem is. Not enough boots on the ground. Not enough people that can be here advocating for these folks. You know what I'm saying?
Now here's one thing that I do want to say. Anybody that has any desire, a young white guy, I think he's about 24, 25, he wants to coach. His mama hit me. Man, it's easy. I'm the hub. Google what hub mean. I'm the hub. You want to coach? Now first string is over. but we're going to get you on the AAU program. We're going to get you with Coach V or Coach over Centennial or Coach Nix. We're going to get you volunteering. We're going to get you YMCA. You want to coach, we're going to make. And so if you have any desire to work with the youth, if you have any desire to work with the parents, if you're a parent and you don't know what to do, get with me, right? Get with Sean. We're going to point you in the right direction, right? We plugged, and I understand my assignment. The reason God has given me this platform and plugged me like this is so I can help people. This award that I'm getting from the Schools Association, this is a direct reflection with me being able to tap into the University of Illinois like my daddy did 50 years ago and had a power program where we connected us. It's no doubt in my mind. And we've been saying this on the show for 3 years. It just takes time. People have to evolve. People have to see, man, this is serious stuff. And we need some people who really have influence. I'm not gonna say I got influence with all the shooters, because I don't. Right, but I ain't scared of them.
But that's what you taught me something. I mean, it's just military stuff that we learn. Teamwork make the dream work.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes,
so
sir.
you might not have the relationship, but you got somebody on team that got the relationship. I got somebody on team that got a relationship. I can get on my phone out of 4,000 or 5,000 numbers on the phone. 1,000 of them can get, can reach out, got long arms.
And we had a little meeting in the shop the other day.
Yeah.
Myself, you, JP, Antoine Neely, and Tony Brown.
Yeah.
And one of the points I was trying to convey is JP said, well, you can't expect everybody to show up at the mall for the ride because that's what you do. Other people don't do that. But what I'm saying is, as a leader, you got to have somebody on your staff who got juice in the hood, who got influence in and I use Antoine Neely as an example. He got maybe 100 units or 200 units, right? But when he look in his phone, right, as a leader, he got to have a heating and air guy. See what I'm saying? He got to have a washing machine fixer, right? He have to have different people. So when something go wrong, he can call. As a leader on my staff, when my daddy handed me this church, no matter what the problem is, I'm gonna have somebody on my staff, or I'm gonna recruit somebody on my staff to do everything from homelessness to cooking hamburger helper.
So let the Reverend West come out of me, right?
Chunk of bread.
Let me chunk of bread. So that being said, okay, Biden, let's see, Trump spent $3 trillion throwing money right when he was in office. COVID happened. He threw $3 trillion out there for people to just be able to, he gave that money and everybody got a $400 or something, got a check, okay? Meanwhile, big corporations, the people got $3 trillion, big corporations got about $11 trillion, okay? Keep the economy rolling, okay? So then we come in again. Biden gave away, I think, $10 trillion since he's been in office. Another $10 trillion. Governor Pritzker gave out $300 million. A lot of this was going from all different types of programs, whether if it was gun violence, stuff that the country's facing, whether if it was infrastructure, whatever the case it is. But this $300 million that Governor Pritzker allocated, earmarked, was to help with gun violence and all of these other things that we're dealing with and we're talking about on today's program. The city of Champaign got probably another $40 million to deal with what we're dealing with as far as gun violence. Okay, the city of Champaign earmarked $18 million to deal with gun violence. Okay, now we're gonna disperse this out to either grassroots programs, meaning programs that's already been in play for a long time, or we're gonna identify new programs or non-traditional programs, programs that's been set up where folks are working with community. They might be a business, they might not be an organization or a non-for-profit, okay? But the brick that I'm throwing is this. We throw all the money we want to at it. My personal opinion. Unless the people have a different mindset, it gotta be a mindset shift. Now we've been doing programs that have been working directly with people and changing the way that they see the world. Because the
paradigm.
because the rat could only see the trap. And if the grandmama's still in the trap, the granddaddy's still in the trap, the nieces, nephews in the trap, and all of these generations in the trap, then they can't see outside of the trap because everybody talking and giving a trap's perspective. What we're trying to do is try to make them see outside the box. What does a business look like?
Can I testify? Let me testify. In 2004, I was loading a plane to go to Iraq with 49 soldiers. Anybody around me done heard the story 100 years. I must keep on telling it. And I said, Lord, I don't want to die over here. I only got 2 years till I retire from the Army. The Lord said, ain't nothing gonna happen to you. I got work for you to do in Rand 2. I said, the devil is a lie. I ain't never moving back to Champaign, let alone Rand 2. And so I tell that story often because a lot of people lie on God. They lie on God and say, God told them to do this and God told them to do this. And when it don't work, people are like, I thought you said God told, oh, I miss God. Well, see, because I could be anywhere in the world doing what I can help kids anywhere. And I will not leave because God has assigned me here. But here's the thing that separates me from others. I ain't gonna say from everybody. See, what I understand is God will not give you a vision without giving you provision. Right? So we haven't got hardly no grant money. Shout out to Tracy Parsons. They give us like $5,000 for our summer program. But other than that, we ain't got no grant money, right? But we have continued to move forward because God is not gonna go to Popeyes and order 10-piece chickens and not pay for it. This work that we doing in Rand 2, this work that we doing here in Champaign, Illinois, Champaign County, this is God's work. This is his work, and he gonna see it through, right? He said, I'll prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. He's literally doing that right now. He's preparing a table for not on my watch in the presence of and he's allowing our blessings to overtake us. The grant money has to come. It has to come. They have to come, Sean. I can't get caught up in the why they don't want to give me this and I don't have. That's his job. He who keepeth Israel never slumbers or sleep. If God gonna stay up worrying about it, I'm gonna get me some sleep, cause it's his vision. So I ain't gonna do no name calling. I'm maturing. You know I'm a lot. I done grew a lot, man. I ain't doing no name calling, man. All you have to do is look at how it's evolving. You can look at my wife and check my wife out and say, man, they going somewhere. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And so I hear everything you saying and I agree with it, but I ain't gonna get caught up in, if that's what they want to do, but sooner or later, we've been saying it for 3 years, you got to come see us.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I'm not so much stuck.
No, I ain't saying you stuck. I'm saying I ain't. Go ahead. I never meant you.
I'm not.
No, but what's right is what you said. I'm with you.
I'm not so much
I'm
stuck
with you.
on the fact that big numbers, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody get the drooling at the mouth,
right,
and the lines get long,
right,
at the city council meetings,
right,
and these
right,
different places.
But you know why?
Facilities, because now they offer
But can
money.
I tell you why you ain't? Because you own. You are owner, you're an entrepreneur. See, we got to get it. We ain't waiting on every 2 weeks, and I'm not knocking the people that's waiting every 2 weeks, because my wife get paid every 2 weeks and I love it. But we make our way. We ain't looking at 15 or 20 grand every month. Some folks looking at $5,000 a month. Some folks looking at $3,000 a month. Now my military retirement pay, yeah, I'm looking at that. But Suits by Soldier ain't no guaranteed money.
Yeah.
I got to get it.
Right.
And so that's why you will never have that mindset, because you're a boss.
Yeah. You know, one of the things about it to me, bro, is that the fact that having a compassion for the people and the humility of the people, you know what I'm saying? All the way back down to the barbershop days when I was cutting hair in a 1-bedroom. I never forget those days. I take those days with me every day.
It made you who you are.
I never forget the people that my clientele back then.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still see them folks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, fast forward right now, some of those same people dying in these streets. You know, their kids are dying in these streets. And whether if they give us $18 million and they give us $3 trillion, somebody got to help these families make it through. Go
ahead.
And somebody get out there.
What's really Nim little buddy name? He doing the music.
Over in Indianapolis.
Yeah. And so
don't put me on front.
I
don't want to say his boy name right.
Yeah, well that's okay. But here's what I'm saying.
People, I know exactly what you're talking about.
People like him and La Reese and those type of guys, right? That's what I'm looking at. I know who putting in the real work in the trenches.
Oh yeah.
They don't know, or they don't have a relationship. So like. But let me finish where I'm going with this. So when the bread start coming, we know who to touch. We can't be tricked. See, if you ain't got no influence, I mean, let's be straight. A lot of people getting tricked. A lot of people with the money getting tricked. They giving it to people who really not relevant.
Keeping it 100.
Right, but it's their fault because they ain't doing their homework. They believe in people's mail, right? But now it's like, wait a minute, ain't nothing changing. Matter of fact, it's getting worse.
And you know why? Because you went to school. You got a textbook. You done read the right books. You make it look good on paper. But the evidence, a tree is known by its fruit. The evidence. Just last week, I'm doing a funeral. I'm getting ready for a funeral. It's a shooting down the street. The evidence is showing. I'm looking at Oberheim's wife, and she's so frustrated and so mad and so bitter. She's on television last night. She got the right to be. Her husband's at work. I can't even get mad at the person she's turning into when she look into her daughter's face and her husband's not there to walk them down the aisle, to be at graduation. That's where the devil want us at. When we so sleep at the wheel and we so distracted. So now we need to find out who are those folks that can make an impact on this young man before he even decide to go put a gun in his hands. How do we get to the pain that's going on in that family that have dealt with gun violence over and over and over again? How do you get to that? Are we just doing something just to be doing something, and give the appearance that we're doing something, and they ain't even doing nothing?
What do we call that in the Army? Mark time, march.
And you walking in place. Walking in place. You ain't extended to the left, extended to the right. You ain't went a distance. You know, you just stood in place. You looked good. It sounded good.
You was on beat, on rhythm and everything.
It sounded real good.
But you going nowhere.
But you going nowhere fast. Because the world is steady moving. You know, I mean, we in spaces, and I always tell this here. I told you this stuff yesterday or the day before when I was down there. Thank the Lord for you turning me into the stock market, turning me onto it. Because we do an advanced class down here. So these are some of the things I wanted the world to know what we doing. We had an advanced group of folks that either is off on Thursday mornings that could sit down at 10 o'clock for 2 hours and learn about what's happening while we're distracted by all the Tyler Perry shows. Everything, the Jenny Jones or whatever, whichever people that's on daytime. I don't even want no people on daytime. Nick Cannon and all these other folks that got you mesmerized throughout the day while they making policies up so you can't even vote.
Now I'm gonna tell you one place I matured at. I was getting frustrated with Rand 2 because Rand 2 is hurting, man, and a lot of the parents in Rand 2 are hurting. And so we've been doing this financial literacy class about a year now, 18 months. And it should be standing room only. Should be standing room only, man. And it's not. And so what God is sharing with me is just to be patient. You know, they so gun shy of gimmick and games. You know, folks think it's just another gimmick or game until they see us on graduation day handing out money to the kids, right? And so one of the things that God is teaching me, you gotta be patient. See, Moses did all that work and he didn't get to step foot on the promised land. He saw it, but he didn't get to step foot on because he got frustrated with God's people. And God told him to speak to the rock, and he smoked the rock. So we got to, I'm going to speak for me. I got to be careful that I be patient, because I just want to inject him with it, because I know if I'd have knew this 30 years ago, oh my God, I'd be, I have something, went home in Florida and all that. And so he's teaching me patience. A lot of parents don't know, Sean. They don't know. They don't know how to parent. They don't know how to parent, Sean. Mm-hmm. They getting high with the kids. They kicking it with them. They listen to the music with the kids. They more friends they are. And so until we can create ways to get them at the table to help us teach them how to parent, that's what has to happen. Because one of the things I know that, let me give you this. Let me say this and I'm going to say that. One of the things I know is that you can teach the kids all you want. If they go at home and what you teaching them ain't conducive to what the parents are doing, it's a hit or miss. Now, my Leadership Development Academy, I had 83 kids before the pandemic. Right now, I got 10 kids, right? 10 kids. And out of those 10 kids, probably 8 to 10 of them are in 2-parent homes, and they're gonna be successful, whether they come to my Leadership Development Academy, right? And at first I was like, well, these not the kids that really need it. No, they need it because they want it. They might be the next, but the kids that are really, really hurting, nobody can influence them to come. And I'm so busy, I'm trying to get into school during the day, to where I can influence them. But I'm looking at why the teachers ain't influenced the kids to come. If you having problems with these kids, and I got a program coming in every Friday where we show them exposure, y'all can't get them here? Y'all can't get Pookie and Ray Ray to come?
So, right. So
talk.
Let me talk to you.
Okay. I want to hit the parents though, but go ahead. Your show. I'm a guest. Come on.
No.
Come on. But that's what I'm frustrated with.
The parents right there. But remember what I told you, bro, is that they in the trap. Mm-hmm. They can't see the forest for the tree too. Mm-hmm. Remember I told you, mama been in the same trap. Grandmama been in the same trap. The trap really feel cool.
Generational curse.
The trap feel cool because we used to the trap.
Harriet Tubman said I could have freed some more slaves if they would have known they were slaves.
You don't even know you being tricked. It's a trick of the enemy, and you don't even know it because you used to getting entertained. Entertainment feel good. We do it in our precious and our most precious institutions, which is Sunday morning in church. If they're not singing good, if it ain't no good hooping and hollering, I don't care what the words are saying. If it ain't no good singing,
it don't make me feel
if it don't make me feel good, I ain't going there. That ain't my spot. I don't care what you got going on over there. You be doing whatever. One of the things about when you talked about environments and the kids got 2-parent households, but they still need something else. Even though they get at-home school, but they need something else. It's called a safe haven. Yeah. Now let me tell you one of the things that I've seen in our community as a safe haven. We can go right now, and we done had a lady talk to us from the news that's doing advertising and marketing. She just stopped by your shop. She just stopped up here. She just said, "Hey man, why I can't go to none of these black organizations and they open during the day? What's going on with that?" And so our thing is, try again tomorrow, or call them or whatever the case it is. We ain't try to throw nobody under the bus, but it is what it is. A tree is known by its fruit. You speak for yourself, okay? But if you went down to the vineyard, you go down there, you can take your laptop. You get free Wi-Fi. You get lunch on. I know they open on Tuesdays for free for a $5 meal. They offering things to the community that the community might need. Yeah, it might not be for everybody, but the doors is open. You just want to keep the doors open. That if I come to myself, David, or even the kid that was
the prodigal son.
The prodigal son.
Come on, man. Come on.
The prodigal son.
You better
when he
say
come to himself. Because a lot of us ain't came to ourselves.
Yes,
a lot of us ain't been in the right spaces.
Yes, sir.
We ain't been in this class where the light bulb go off, and then I finally learned out what they really doing with our money.
Yes, sir.
Find out about what the Treasury Secretary really saying yesterday during the meeting, that he was buying bonds and the interest rate finna run up, and all of these different other things. We finding that out, but we didn't know nothing about this.
Yes, sir.
See, while we over here, it's like when back in the day, I remember I see a whole bunch of guys that I really respected. I mean, back in the day, I had a white IROC that I got from Roman Gordon. He used to he was on the live. Z28. I had rims, and I'm keeping it clean. I got my music going. I see these guys, they community guys. They going into the Douglas Annex. I'm like, hey, blowing my horn, look you guys. They going there to take care of that business for the community. I thought, I go down to the car wash. Wipe on my car. Because I'm distracted. I'm thinking, and I'm relying on somebody else to take care of my business.
Be your ambassador.
To take care of the business that I'm supposed to, because we want a productive community.
Yes, sir.
And I'm thinking they building a productive community. But no, back then the money was even shorter than what it is now, probably $3 million. They were drooling at the $3 million. Because their lifestyle revolves around your issue. Your issue. We study you. We find out, hey, Brother Hug, what's going on? Any more issues you got going on? We do a dissertation. We write a little bit more about you. We turn in the paperwork. Keep the money coming. Because my lifestyle evolves off of you having issues. We not trying to teach you how to get out the trap. I get so frustrated with people. Because we keep on going to the same people that got us in the trap saying, can you please let me out the trap? They get paid off of you being in the trap. So you can't no longer go to them. That's why it's so important for us to all come together. We used to sing a song in church. When we all get together, what a time. We ain't got together since the song. Because we think we work better on in isolated silos because we like to front and stunt on each other. Keep it 100. My church bigger than your church, my car better than your car, my house bigger than your house. Other races don't work off that same kit, man. They work off of places and they try to build each other up in areas where you're short, where you're lacking. They'll come together, they'll put all their money together. I was telling you, I just looked at some people. You know what I'm saying? They all stay in one house. They sleep on a air mattress. They pay rent once a year. Can you imagine if you paid rent once a year and all your money went toward investments in your future and your kids' future, and matter of fact, you ain't even got no kids yet because that is a prepared time for prepared people. Not just something that you just run into.
Yeah, they plan it.
You know what I'm saying? Not some young man at 17 on his way to college or got a scholarship somewhere, and then all of a sudden she say, oh, you know, I got something to tell you. And then throw him all the way off his square or her all the way off her square. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. We don't know no better, so we can't do no better. And then when we know better, we don't even show up to the program to even know that it's a program that's gonna make us better. So it makes no difference how much money. They could throw $1 trillion at us. It makes no difference as we don't know no better.
I think it's one word that's causing a lot of this gun violence, and it's hope. You know, the reason they can shoot each other like dogs in the street, because they're hopeless. Purpose is another word. They have no purpose for living. Ecclesiastes say to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. And one of the things that we're trying to do at Not On My Watch is inject hope in the family, not just the youth, but inject hope in the whole family, the parents as well. Because when people don't have no hope, man, what they say, desperate people do desperate things.
You know, Brother Hub, what I will say on that issue is everybody want to win. The dope dealer want to win. Everybody want to win. The gambler want to win. Everybody, every kid want to win. But what blueprint do you have towards success?
Put the guns down and do what? What's the next instruction?
What blueprint do you have? You know, we got some stuff set up now because we got our own and we can get creative and we can say, hey, look, man, hey, look, young man, you can drive this truck. We got this trucking business. We can drive this truck. Young lady, you can drive this truck. You start dispatching, you can start, let me teach you about transportation. You know, we got some stuff that we got going on, but everybody want to win. But when society that get paid off you got you thinking this is the path towards success. You know, what your eyelashes look like, what your hairstyle look like, what your shoes look like. You ain't no good if you can't afford red bottoms. So now you taking your tax money to go get red bottoms and taking tax money for investment money for your future. You know, when they got us so confused and hangling and dangling that in front of our face. So we chasing Jason. We chasing the wrong thing. We chasing something. I'm gonna break something down to you guys, and then you let us know when we get to the 15, 20 minute mark. You know, they got us chasing something. Let me explain something, break something down to you. You heard of metaverse, right? Metaverse, right? Facebook just changed their name on the stock market to Metaverse because they're building something for the future. And so I never knew, because I was just telling my girl last night, I didn't know some of this stuff, you know, because I'm so caught up in what I'm caught up on that I don't know even what the garbage that they throwing at you, at some of the people. So Metaverse is a virtual world. It's a virtual world. So it's like you and your basketball team, like y'all got a game, say you got a game tonight. But in the Metaverse virtual world, you don't have to get on the bus. All your players put on the glasses and they never leave the house, and y'all go to Danville and meet up with Danville players in a virtual world and play. Whoever wins, wins, and they're building this virtual visual world up, and they're actually spending real money in this virtual world. So just like in this virtual world, you can get your player, your favorite player, and you can dress your favorite player up. You can buy him $100 Jordans. He starts out with no skills. You bring in Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers train your player to be better. Now he know how to, cross over. He know how to bank shot. You pay more money. You bring in Allen Iverson. Showed him how to shoot the three. And you get success vicariously on this virtual world. But in reality, you don't even own a pair of shoes. In reality, this ain't even your house. In reality, you never accomplished anything in life. In the real world, you dying. In the virtual world, you're doing your thing. That's what they want. That's where society is going. And unless we get our head outside the box, we dying. Our culture dying.
Because there's no connectivity. There's no human to human.
We go in the garage, we shut the door. We don't even know a neighbor on the block. Because there's no more human to human contact.
That's tough, man.
And the test run was Zoom. Whether the kids gonna do it physically through COVID, and we gonna get past this together, and we all gonna abide by putting a mask on, getting a vaccine. So they gonna put us together. Get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. All that controversy. Meanwhile, Russia, China, and the rest of the world taking over. While we back and forth boxing.
A lot of people have stopped coming to church as well. They rather watch it online. And I don't like that. I think it's a trick. I think it's a trick of the enemy, and because I'm not saying you have to go to church to know God, but I am saying I might need you. I come to church looking for what you got, and the Bible teaches not to forsake ourselves one for another. And so, you saying I can't know God because I don't go to church? The church is inside me. I totally agree. But man, there's something about connecting, God's people connecting, and the anointing flowing, and Holy Spirit jumping off this person and flowing over here. you know, and so that's going to be a challenge for me as I move forward and take over my dad's church, because I want folk. Now we're gonna be modern. We're gonna have everything we're supposed to have, but I'm going to strongly encourage people to come.
You know, and what I've told a minister way before COVID is when I start seeing how social media was moving and how podcasts are moving and all of these different things that's out there, that you're going to have to be more tech savvy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that old school way of doing things is almost out the door, and so many times we get used to it. I was just listening to Tony yesterday in your shop, and he was saying that his grandmama used to bake bread, and she would cut the ends off of the bread to slide it in the oven, and she would do that because her oven was only so big.
That's right.
And once her daughter started finding out they were still cutting the ends off the bread, they could put 2 or 3 pieces of bread in their oven.
Tradition.
But it was tradition, and they didn't know reason why they did. Just knew they was just doing what grandmama been doing until they found out this is the reason why she been doing.
Grandma, that's the only oven I had, you know. So that was
and so a lot of times we doing stuff because we've been told this is the way it's supposed to be, and it ain't the way it's supposed to be. But you know, when it comes down to that, Brother Hub, you know, I think we face right now, and because I mean I've been in church all my life, and I've listened to the story, and I've listened to the fear of it. You know, they're gonna take the Bibles out your hand. No, it ain't. You're gonna drop the Bible on your own. Like the
story you told me about the virtual metaverse. Metroverse. What that does to me personally, it make me want to even get closer to God, because we in the end time. And so,
did you know that?
No.
Did you know the things I was just telling you?
No.
Did you know that a lot of...
You kind of mentioned it at the shop, but no, I didn't.
You didn't know it to the in-depth of what?
No.
Oh, man, it's so...
And it's
if you check with some of your players, and you ask them what game they play, and they play these games, they're dressing their players up. They're dressing they buying their players Jordans. They getting this money from you guys, you know, from the parents and stuff.
You know, Jim Jones practiced them drinking Kool-Aid 3 or 4 times before he gave them cyanide. They went through the routine, right?
Training aid.
Right. So when he killed them, they just thought, oh, okay, we just going through another practice, right? And they all was dead. But you know, when you was talking, I'm taking this back to parenting. I'm on this parenting thing, and the reason is because I watched my parents. You know, I watched my mom, elected official in '72, school board, and I watched my dad work with University of Illinois, and connect the dots between the hood and University of Illinois. But I thought about when I got into it with a coach, and I had played basketball all my life, and this coach he just didn't like me, you know, because I spoke my mind. And I'm not saying I was a great kid, but I wasn't no bad kid. I was, you know, I was a AB student. My mom was gonna have nothing less. But I really didn't respect him as an African American male. He wasn't no strong, you know, I grew up Douglas Center, Ralph, and Big Mike. I grew up around some strong African American. And so this guy was more like a house to me. And I didn't respect him. He knew I didn't respect him. So he made sure I didn't make the team. So I really was shook, kind of the reason I coach now. But let me tell you, and I'm talking about parenting. My mama called Lou Henson office. I believe it was Lou Henson at the time. And she got a hold of Tony Yates. And Tony Yates came to my house, man, and spent about 2 hours with me, man. And it meant so much to me, right? But after I got older, I said, how did my mama get the assistant coach from Illinois to come to the house? But she refused to lose me. And she was losing me quick, fast, and in a hurry. And she did what she had to do. She gave me custody over the Leela so I could go to Centennial. You know, that didn't work. But we got to teach these parents to refuse to lose. And in order to do that, we got to create hope in them. Because if kids looking at the parents and they hopeless, you know what I'm saying? And so this gun violence, I mean, you always talk about music, you know, a lot of the music they listen to, a lot of the drugs, you know, I look at the picture when they show them on court via satellite, man, and that don't look like no murderer. They be scared to death when they show them, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the heck have I done?
They out of that element.
See what I'm saying? But last night you was on the mollies drinking that Patron, you know, and you was the wild man. You was tough Tony. You know what I'm saying? And as Tony Brown would say, now you sitting up in the satellite jail, parked on pitiful and stuck on stupid. Mm-hmm. And so we got to be more aggressive in the preventive mode, right? Because the Bible say bend the sapling while it's young. You got to bend the tree while it's young. Because when the tree get roots and get rooted and get strong, man, you can't bend that thing. And so we got to get more strategic in the preventive phase. Now, the curriculum for the, I don't want to be hypocritical, the curriculum that I wrote for the JDC is not preventive. You know, it's trying to get them to see it a more excellent way. Yeah. It's trying to get them to change the paradigm. But the litmus test was when they got excited about doing the vision board. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And even the young lady that was inside there, we couldn't be in there. She got the paperwork and material they need to do it. That's when my light bulb came on and said, man, we coming in here, we doing okay, but we got to bring some structure in there.
You know, as you say parenting, right? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking myself, we got to be transparent too.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
We got to be transparent.
Oh my God.
Because we got to be able to, I mean, just really look and be honest with ourselves. You know, I mean, you know your kid. You know your kid.
You gotta be honest.
And a lot of times we sit up there and I've watched Facebook posts, I've watched things that I've seen, and I'm shaking my head like, man, you helping this kid destroy himself. You treat him like he your boyfriend or some dude you just met off the street instead of being firm on that young man. And it's a lot of resources out here, Hub. In my neighborhood, we get these brochures, get these booklets, and they talk about Park District stuff that's going on. And it's some stuff that come in the mail, even at one of the businesses I own, it's stuff that come in the mail. A lot of times, it ain't just junk mail.
Now, you didn't hear the sore spot, and we kind of talked about it a little bit. And people said, why would you move to Rand too, Hub? Everything that I did, honoring 12 women the day before Mother's Day, honoring 12 men the day before Father's Day, getting mayor, who was the mayor that was in there at the time? White guy. Mayor Gerard and Osh Knox and James Kinney and Hightower from Danville and Jenkins, Ken Jenkins, to talk about coaching your kids into this destiny, what it takes to go to college. All that stuff we did, right? I had to pay.
Time to cut. Okay.
Right? It's time to cut?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How much time we got left? Okay, so, I'm sorry. And so, but I had to pay. And no, they never said you can use this center for free. $300-$400 I had to pay. But you know what? It was worth it to me.
Yeah.
Right? In Rand 2, man, what you need?
Right. And so
you see what I'm saying? And so you brung up all these good programs, but it's a barrier there.
Right.
Right? We didn't have no barriers when we ran Douglas Center.
Right. I just went down there.
Right? Whatever it was, we skated. You might have paid $2, but whatever we wanted to do, whatever programs we want to put on. So it's a barrier there. That's why we got to create. We got to create our own. And somebody just sent the mothers. The mothers got together and they doing a school to kill the pipeline to prison. And man, there's no better time. I feel so confident about having our own academy more now than ever. And here's where people get me twisted at. Oh, you want to build a school for black kids? Let me tell you something. LDA started with 14 black boys who, most of them, some of them, not all of them, but a lot of them was causing 80% of the discipline problems. It started with 14 black boys and 1 Hispanic. But it evolved to 83 kids, black, white, male, female. Because everybody wanted to win.
Everybody wanted to win.
And so my instructor at Eastern said, Herb, please, I know you want to school, but don't make it all black. You got too much in you to just teach black kids. I said, no, it ain't gonna be all black, but we're gonna control the agenda. We're gonna control the narrative. It's gonna be level playing field. Right? We ain't finna hire 20 people who just listen to Farrakhan and hate white folks. Right? And we ain't finna hire 20 people who Trump supporters and hate black folks.
Right.
We're not gonna do neither one of those.
Right. Right.
We're gonna do it like God wanna do it, with a spirit of excellence. And we're gonna treat everybody fair. We're gonna love on everybody.
Right. Right.
But that's our narrative. Right. That's the narrative. I don't know what the narrative they got around here now. It's not for me to say, but I know what God done put for us to do.
Well, Brother Hub, I thank the Lord for you. I thank the Lord for the program. I thank the Lord for you being able to be in the back.
Oh, already. That's why I had to talk quick.
It's funny how time flies when you're having fun. I thank you, and you for tuning in to us every Sunday night. I thank you for watching another episode of Let the Truth Be Told.
Go Tigers.
Peace.